How are we supposed to choose just one person among these 6 amazing nominees? Hi, I'm Brian Rowe. This is the Awards Contender, and I'm excited to bring you my very first Emmy predictions video ever. Today we're talking Best Actor in a Drama Series. The nominees are Jeff Bridges, The Old Man, Brian Cox, Succession, Kieran Culkin, Succession, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us, and Jeremy Strong, Succession. I mean, that is an incredible lineup of actors. Great shows, great performances. Any one of these 6 actors could win, and I'd be very happy. I would say the least of the 6, if I had to choose like my least favorite, is Jeff Bridges in The Old Man. I had seen the other shows in the last few months. I had watched Succession, Last of Us, and Better Call Saul. I just binge watched The Old Man over the last 3 days on Hulu, and the first episode is great. And it has a lot of fantastic moments with Bridges. I'm assuming that's probably the episode that he submitted, because he's in almost the entirety of the pilot episode. And there's some great physical moments, a couple really good emotional beats. And then the rest of the 6 episodes, he's only in it here and there. I mean, there were a couple episodes I watched where he had maybe 10 to 20 minutes of screen time in like a 50-minute episode. So I think the success for Bridges comes down to that pilot episode. Jeff Bridges is such a beloved figure, and he went through hell the last few years, getting cancer and then COVID, and he's won an Academy Award. He's been nominated for things left and right for decades, but it was crazy when I looked this morning. He's only received 1 other Emmy nomination in his whole career, and so he hasn't really played much of a role at the Emmys before. This would be a great time to reward him. If it was a different year, I think Jeff Bridges could win. The problem is he has so much competition in this category from the other actors, and the other issue is The Old Man only got 2 Emmy nominations total, 1 for Bridges and 1 for a technical category. So it's not like the show got into Best Drama Series. John Lithgow, who's very good in the show, did not get into Supporting Actor, which is kind of surprising because Lithgow's been showing up at a lot of the other ceremonies earlier this year. There's no Amy Brenneman for Best Supporting Actress. There doesn't seem to be much enthusiasm for the show from Emmy voters outside of the Jeff Bridges performance, and that gives me some pause. I don't think Bridges can win this one. The other person I don't think can win this is Pedro Pascal for The Last of Us, even though he is phenomenal in that show. I binged that one too a few months ago. I watched the whole thing after it had all aired on HBO. I watched it in a couple days and loved every minute of it. What a fantastic piece of storytelling The Last of Us is. I was so happy to see it get into lead actress, lead actor, and best drama series. It's definitely deserving of those 3 categories, and I'm really happy Pascal is here. I do think genre bias might hurt him a little bit, and the fact that it's a brand new show, kind of like The Old Man is too. Both shows got their starts in the last year, whereas the other actors in this category are on series that have ended. So I do think there is something to be said, for a show that just got its start. I mean, the Golden Globes like to reward actors and shows that just started, but I've never found that to be the case with the Emmys. Not to say that they always just reward shows that have been on the air for 7 years. Not necessarily the case. I mean, they'll reward great stuff that's in season 1. But when you're up against something like Succession or Better Call Saul, I feel like it's going to be tricky to stand out from the crowd. So I think this time around, Pedro Pascal's nomination is the win for him. But who knows, in years to come, he might be able to take this. Next up is Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul. Alright, so let's talk about this nomination. Better Call Saul had 6 seasons. Odenkirk has been nominated for Best Actor in a Drama Series for every season of Better Call Saul. Bob Odenkirk has never won an Emmy for playing Saul Goodman. Even on Breaking Bad and then into Better Call Saul, he has won a couple Emmys before, but way back in the late 80s and mid 90s for writing. I believe they were for Saturday Night Live and the Ben Stiller Show. He's never won an Emmy for acting. And for many, the last season of Better Call Saul was its finest hour, was an astonishing season of television. And part of me's if Succession had 1 more season to go, if we were in season 4 of 5 seasons of Succession, I think Odenkirk might get this, But because Succession also ended this past year, it gives me a little bit of pause. I wonder if the enthusiasm is there for Odenkirk. It feels right to me that Odenkirk should be the winner this year for Best Actor in a Drama Series. I mean, for him to do all that great work he did throughout the years playing that character, it seems wrong for him not to win an Emmy for this. But it's tricky. It's like, well, they could have given him an Emmy last year for the great season 5 of Better Call Saul, and they looked elsewhere. And Succession is so popular, so beloved, that I wonder if Odenkirk can win. Something I think will help Odenkirk is that we have 3 nominees from Succession in this category, and I do feel like there's not a clear consensus of which of these 3 actors do we give all the votes to. They all were really terrific in season 4, and I mean, I guess you could say Jeremy Strong. I feel like Jeremy Strong of these 3 guys has the best chance at a win. I mean, the one thing you could say against Jeremy Strong is that both Brian Cox and Kieran Culkin have never won an Emmy for Succession, but Strong has. He won in 2020 on his first Emmy nod, so Strong already has one. I don't know when it comes to the Emmys if they look into that very much, if they care. I mean, the Emmys are famous, right, for just giving Emmys to the same person over and over and over again. Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep is a good example. I think she won all the Emmys that she could except for the last season. I think the 7th and final season she didn't get, but the first 6 seasons she would just win every year. And you had your ballot, you didn't even have to think. You could just be like, Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Like you would not even consider the other nominees, because like by year 5, year 6, they would just say her name every time. So I think Jeremy Strong already having an Emmy doesn't hurt him. It could potentially even help him, like just knowing he was capable of winning an Emmy before shows that he could win an Emmy again. And his character goes through so much that last season. It's just a brilliant performance. My choice in this category would probably be Kieran Culkin. I think he is the standout on Succession. I have loved him since season 1, and every season I love seeing how his confidence would grow, how Roman would play bigger and bigger roles in the story. Roman is just such an original character, beautifully brought to life by Culkin. This is an actor who's had some opportunities here and there throughout the years, but not until Succession did he really get his chance to sink his teeth into a great role. And I just loved wondering what he was going to do and say next. He had some great moments in that last season. I mean, when he starts crying at the church, like that really got to me. And the way he was always able to balance comedy and drama was always very skillful. I loved the way his character was integrated into that family. It's interesting that the first 2 times Culkin was nominated for Succession at the Emmys, he got into the Best Supporting Actor category. Here he is in lead. I do feel like the supporting actor category in a drama series, which we're going to talk about in a few days, that category I do believe Culkin could have won because it's only actors from The White Lotus and Succession, and Culkin, as I said, is a clear standout. I think he probably would have won this year in supporting actor, but being in lead actor, the competition is going to be really tough. And I just don't know if in the last season of Succession, I don't know if they're going to award Kieran Culkin Best Actor in a Drama Series. I feel like they would give it to Jeremy Strong or Brian Cox. Cox is the last actor I've not talked about. I think the big problem for Brian Cox is that he didn't make it through the whole season. If he had made it to episode 7 or 8 or 9, that's a different story. But he's gone so early on that I just wonder, is that the person they're going to want to award Best Actor in a Drama Series from Succession? Like, the more I think about it, it feels like this comes down to Jeremy Strong in Succession and Bob Odenkirk in Better Call Saul. I feel like those 2 are at the top. I know Kieran Culkin will have his fans. He probably would get my vote in a way. And if he were to win this, like, I will cheer. That would be awesome. He's definitely worthy. What a cool speech he would give. I mean, I would be really excited by that moment. I don't think Jeff Bridges gets this. I don't think Pedro Pascal gets it. I think they're just happy to be there. Although I would love to see Jeff Bridges win an Emmy for something one day. I don't think it's for this. I just don't think it's for the old man, especially up against Better Call Saul and Succession. So I'm going to say it's really tight between Jeremy Strong and Bob Odenkirk. Now, this might be the heart talking. It is not a done deal by any means, but I am leaning toward Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul. I feel like that is a character, that is a performance over many years, first on Breaking Bad and then on Better Call Saul, that is worthy of an Emmy. Better Call Saul did very well for its last season at the Emmys. It's not just up for Best Actor. You also have Best Supporting Actress for Rhea Seehorn. It got into Best Drama Series. It got 2 nominations for Best Writing for a drama series. Many people agree the best season of Better Call Saul was its last, so I get the feeling that Better Call Saul will win something big on Emmys night. It's kind of crazy, I just looked it up. Better Call Saul has received 53 Emmy nominations over its 6-season run. This show has never won a single Emmy. Are they really gonna let Better Call Saul win nothing? I feel like at the very end here, they're gonna wanna give it something, and something big. Something that holds me back a little bit here is that Succession also just ended, and I feel like for many, Succession is a bigger, more popular show. They might want to award one of these 3 actors from Succession instead of Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul. But I just feel like having 3 nominees in the category is tricky because many will want to give their votes to Brian Cox. A lot of people really love Kieran Culkin. He's going to get some votes. And then Jeremy Strong has won before and obviously gives one of the best performances in that show. So he will get some votes too. So it might be a case where if there was just one great nominee from Succession here, if it was only Jeremy Strong and Brian Cox and Kieran Culkin were both in supporting, then I think Jeremy Strong might win. I might say Jeremy Strong gets this. But again, it just feels weird to me that Bob Odenkirk could go 0 for 6 in lead actor for Better Call Saul. This whole thing reminds me of Jon Hamm for Mad Men. If I remember correctly, he was nominated, if not for every season, pretty much every season of Mad Men in lead actor in a drama series. He never won, and then he won on that last season. After the show had wrapped, they got nominated one last time. Jon Hamm finally won his Emmy for lead actor in a drama series. I'm kind of feeling the same thing with Bob Odenkirk, that could happen like Jon Hamm. So, even though there's a very distinct possibility one of those 3 actors from Succession could take this, especially Jeremy Strong, my final prediction for Best Actor in a Drama Series at the 2023 Emmys is Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below who you think is going to win Best Actor in a Drama Series. Do you think Bob Odenkirk can take it? Do you think it's going to be one of the 3 actors from Succession? Or do Jeff Bridges and Pedro Pascal have a chance to upset? We'll see you next time at the Awards Contender.